We are beginning the lesson 23. The page Zayin 7, the right column, the line 25. Ot Gimel, and the paragraph Gimel 3. So in the last lesson he explained to us the number 13. And now we are going further. Ata niftach lanu hapetach levaer sod Shem 26 membet v'sod membet zivugin hamuva kan bazohar od Gimel. Actually, he explains now the Od Gimel of the Zohar. 25. Ata niftach lanu hapetach. Now the opening is open for us. Is opened for us. Levaer, to explain Sod, the secret of Shem 26 Membet, of the name Membet, of 42, of the number 42. Vesod Membet Zivugin, and the secret of Membet 42 Zivugim, Hamuva kan bazohar, that were brought here in the Zohar, Ot Gimel, in the Ot Gimel. Point. 27. Kvar yadata, shahabina, נחלקה מחמת יציאתה 28 לחוץ לבית בחינות double point גר וזת שגר דבינה 29 נתקנו לפרצוף מיוחד הנקרא אבא ואמא אליין והם 30 מלבישים לארי חנפין מהפה שלו עד החזה והאור 31 שבהם נקרא אווירה דחיה. Point. Twenty-seven. Kvar yadata, you know already. Shahabina nechlaka, that the bina of the Arichanpin. Nechlaka is divided. Michamat yitziata lachutz, due to her outcoming, is it a right word? Outgoing, going out of the outside, lachutz, maybe, lachutz, outside, lebet bechinot, in two aspects, double point. And remember that we just translate wordly, and not in the nice English. When I give lessons in my mother language, in Russian, even then I give it just plain translation and not the literary translation. So I do in Dutch. Double point. There is no beauty in this. The beauty is from within. The grasping of things that beyond my understanding, beyond my mind. This is the beauty. 28 double point. So Binah is divided in two aspects. Double point. Gar vezat, gar, gimel rishonot, means gimel rishonot, the three first sfirot. Vezat and zayin tachtonot, means seven sfirot, lower ones. Shegar de Binah, nitkanu, that the gar of the Binah. 29. Nitkanu lepartsuf mayuchad, are installed for a particular partsuf, as a particular partsuf, hanikra Abba Ima a line, that is called Abba and Ima, the higher Abba and Ima. And later we will see that this is actually the partsuf of Chochmah, of the Atzilut. It is Binah, but we will see, because of this division of the Binah in two different parts, the three upper sfirot of the Binah make a partsuf that actually is the Chochmah of the Atzilut. Arichanpin is called Keter of the Atzilut. And the Binah is actually, Arichanpin is actually the Keter of Atzilut, because the Keter exists of two pieces. Yeah? The higher piece, the higher one, let's say the same division as Binah is divided in 3 and 7 sfirot. In the same way is also the Keter is divided, so actually upside down, actually because of the division of the Keter in 3 and 7, the same we see it in the lower partsufim. That the three upper sfirot of the Keter, that we call, from which the whole partsuf Atik was formed, is actually, it belongs to the Atzilut, and still it is a part of a higher. It's something in between the Adam Kadmon and the Atzilut. and is actually separated from the world Atzilut. Because the Malchut of the first Tzimtzum stands in the head, and the 7 lower Sfirot of the Keter that Arichanpin forms, this is actually the real Keter of the world Atzilut. And the Abba V'Ima, the 3 that is formed, the Partzuf, actually 2 Partzufim, that are formed by the 3 upper first Sfirot of the Bina of the Arichanpin that descended from the head of the Arichanpin. They are actually the Chochmah of the Arichanpin. Of course, this is the Chochmah of a kind of Bina, but still it is a Chochmah. And also, of course, there is this Chochmah exists of 2 parts, of masculine and feminine. Abba is a real Chochmah, and Ima is feminine part. And the second part, the 7 lower Sfirot of the Bina, they form a special Partzuf that is called Yisrael Saba and Tfuna, Yishsud. Abbreviation is Yishsud. And they are the real Bina of the Atzilut. And now we are returning back to the Zohar. 28 after the double point again. Gar Vizat, so Bina is divided in Gar in 3 first Sfirot, Vizat and 7 lower Sfirot. Shegar de Bina, that the Gar de Bina, 29, Nitkanu le Partzuf Meyuchat, were installed as a particular Partzuf, Hanikra Abba V'Ima line, that is called the higher Abba V'Ima, father and mother, literally. Vehem 30 Malbishim le'Arichanpin, and they dress the Abba V'Ima, they dress the Arichanpin mi hape shelo ad hachazeh, from the peh, from his peh, the place that is called peh, the mouth, in the place of the Partzuf, shelo of Arichanpin, ad hachazeh, up till the chazeh, till the place that is called chazeh. Remember this word, that we will not use the word of breast. Just remember the Hebrew word. V'ha'or 31 shebahem nikra avira dachya, and the light that in them is in the higher Abba V'Ima. Nikra Avira Dachya, is called Avira Dachya. Avira means Aramaic of Avir in Hebrew, and it means air, and Dachya means thin, a thin air, thin, fine air. Point. Very important to learn now in the Atzilut the places, the dressing of the, I will use the word dress, to dress some things, to dress the one partsuf dresses another one. It will be in our terminology, it will be easier, and close, all kind of words, but just remember this, that if we say that some part or some partsuf dresses another one, we mean it that it covers another one. And if we say that some part or some partsuf is dressed in or embedded in, then it is within another one that dresses this inner one. Is it clear, Miriam? Oh, maybe it will be, then we will have one terminology, and it's important that our terminology is. It doesn't matter how it fits with the Cambridge English or another kind of English, but we are here not to speak English, but to learn the spirituality. And English is the language that we use there with to help us because we're not able now yet to do it everything in Hebrew. But the spirituality we get only from the holy language. That's what I repeat again and again and again. Because it's the time to tell the truth. I do it also with my students, my Dutch students, who study already several years Kabbalah very intensively, that there is no escape, but only deepening in the waters of the holy language. So it is very important, again, to know the position of every partsuf that dresses the Arichanpin. The Arichanpin, as it were, now we are in the, in the time of the New Year, yes, or before the New Year Eve, as it were. And we have a kind of tree, yes? The tree? The Christmas tree, doesn't matter, but we know what we are speaking about, yes? And look how people doing this. This is also comes intuitively, intuitively. It comes, they don't know why, but they dress this tree, but all the dressing with all kinds of toys, lights are very beautiful lights, but everything is dressed on this tree. But within the tree is the trunk, and the branches This is the tree. So it's very important in the world Atzilut. We must recognize, know the place of dressing of the different partsufim upon the Arichanpin. Within all the partsufim of Atzilut, we have the world, the partsuf of Arichanpin, the Keter. And only this, through this partsuf Keter, that is within, all the shining of all others, all other partsufim actually shine due to this partsuf. It's on the contrary of this Christmas tree, that the outside shines upon the inside, but here is different. So, if you know the place, the regular place, we must know the regular place of every partsuf, so Abba and Ima and Yeshut and so on, where they are hanging, at which place they are fixed to this tree, to this Arichanpin. Then we know the place from which this or another partsuf receives its light in its regular position. Because if I know what is inside on the same level of a certain partsuf, then I know what is within it, then I know what shines upon it, because of the law of the spirituality, that an spiritual object that dresses another one that is within it receives the same quality, or from the same quality as the inner one. So it means it receives the same light as the inner partsuf. Through this, of course, through the dressing. So the dressing makes the light, of course, shining rougher, not so, how do you call it, strong as the place that within it. So this is what he speaks about this dressing of the Abba V'Ima that are dressed, what he said, that Hem 30 Malbishim, that Abba V'Ima, the higher Abba V'Ima, Malbishim, they dress the Arichanpin from outside. Mihape shelo ad hachazeh, from its peh, from the peh, the place peh of the Arichanpin, and the peh is the place of the Arichanpin under the Keter and Chochmah. We remember under the Keter and Chochmah we have the Malchut that rose up in the head of the Arichanpin, and that this place is called Peh. In the in the Katnut. And this place, so the Abba V'Ima are closed or dress this place, from this place and lower. And he said, Mihape shelo ad hachazeh, from the peh of the Arichanpin till the chazeh. And what is the place of chazeh, the breasts? What is this for the place? There are 3 parts actually in every parsuf, where due to the second tzimtzum, the Malchut rose up under the Chochmah. In the head, Malchut rose from the Peh to, and that's why the place is called Peh, the mouth, indicating that the place is in the head. The Malchut in the head rose to under the Chochmah, and this place is called Nikvei Einaim, the opening of the eyes, or the place where the eye is settled. And the eyes are Chochmah. The eye is Chochmah. It means that Malchut rose up in the head, in the place where the eye is settled in. Ochkas, yeah, we say it. So the place where the eye is settled in, this this is the place where the Malchut rose in the, as a result of the second tzimtzum, in the head. And now, in every part of the Parzuf, or in every Sphira, the Malchut rose to the place that is similar to the Chochmah in the head of the of a Parzuf, but in a body of the Parzuf, there is no place as Chochmah actually. There is a place in the body that corresponds with the Binah in the head, and this place is called, or Sphira, that corresponds with the Binah in the body, the name of it, Tiferet. And the place where the Malchut, that the end Malchut, the Malchut that ends the light that comes in the body, that Malchut rose as a result of the second Tzimtzum to the place that is called Tiferet, 1/3 of the Tiferet. So Tiferet has 3 parts, as every Sphira. So there is the upper third of the Tiferet, the middle part of the Tiferet, or the middle third of the Tiferet, and the lower third of the Tiferet. So the Malchut in every body, in every Parzuf, and in every Sphira, rose in the body of this sphera or this parzuf rose to the under and came to stand under the the upper third of the Tiferet. This place is called Chazeh. This place is called breast. It's clear, yeah? Look at the breast where the breast is. It's also the place where the Malchut rose from the navel. The navel is the place in the Parzuf where the Malchut stands normally. But as a result of the Tzimtzum Bet, it rose to the place that is above the Bina, and this is like 1/3. This corresponds to the 1/3 of the Bina, of the Tiferet, because as we know, Tiferet is Malchut. Tiferet is Bina of a body, of the body. Yes, because Keter corresponds in the body with the Chesed. Chochmah corresponds in the body with the Gvura, and the Bina of the head corresponds in the body. Did I say something wrong? The Keter in the head corresponds with the Chesed in the body. The Chochmah in the head corresponds with, in the body corresponds with the Gvura, and Bina in the head corresponds with the Tiferet. Actually, the higher third of the Tiferet. That's what he says to us here, that the Abba V'Yima Malbishim 30, they dress the Arichanpin Mihapeh, from his peh of Arichanpin, ad Hachazeh, from his mouth up till his Chazeh, the place Chazeh, in the body. V'ha'or 31 shebahem, and the light that in them in Abba V'Yima shines. Nikra Avir Adachya, the name of it Avir Adachya. Avir means air, and this corresponds with Ruach. And Dachya means thin, fine. Why? Because we will see because this Abba V'Yima, they actually came from the head, and now they are standing where? In the body of the Arichanpin, and everything that stands in the body is actually Avir, has the light of Ruach, and even when they were in the, and Ruach means Chasadim, yes, only Ruach, when we say Ruach, we mean as a special light that is Chasadim, because Chasadim, when we say chasadim, we mean by word chasadim, by light chasadim, or chasadim, we mean it can be nefesh, and it can be ruach, and it can be nefesh plus ruach. And here he says they have the light, that is the Abba V'Ima, that is ruach, avira, it means air, thin air. Why Zohar calls this light of Chasadim, the light of ruach, like this, by this word? Because light, as we learned, is or, is aleph, vav, and resh. And if we put yud inside, it means this. That means that it's getting rougher, like the difference between light and air. We see the difference, yes? The air is more dense, coarser, thicker. The same, that's what the Zohar gives us to feel. What's the difference? And what are the traits of these lights? And more about this, we can see that in Gematria, in all other things that confirm to us that it's not just a word that they, or just a symbolic something that they say, symbolic way that they compare the ruach or the chasadim with a word avir, air. And the Abba V'Ima, you remember, this is the upper Binah, the first three Sfirot of the Binah. Even in the head, even during their standing in the head, they prefer to receive the Chasadim. So in the head they are the same. 31. It's very special with this Abba V'Ima. This quality of the Abba V'Ima is something great, because they are always permanent in zivug, in love, permanent. They don't need the chokhmah, and someone who works on himself goes through all these stages, and when he arrives to permanently, step by step, to dress the Abba V'Ima, then at that moment, from that moment on and on, he has a permanent love. like Abba V'Ima, because they are perfect. They don't depart from each other. Whilst the Zeir Anpin and Nukva, sometimes they have Zivug, sometimes not. Depending on what? Depending, look very carefully, depending on the deeds of the lowers. If the human being, if a person, if the lower, when we say lower, we mean always, or not normally, the souls. If the souls here on the earth do good deeds, work on themselves, perform the mitzvot, then they promote, as it were, the zivug between the Zeir Anpin and Malchut. And then the Malchut can give it this light, blessings and light of Chokhmah, cover it in the Chasadim, can give it to lower, to our world, to these souls. When the souls do evil things, sin, then they separate, bring, as it were, the separation to the Zeir Anpin and Nukva. But Abba V'Ima, but Abba V'Ima are unreachable for the lowers. So whatever here, and it is very good, it's very good to know this, that whatever here on earth happens, it can harm only, as it were, up till Nukva and Malchut and Zeir Anpin of the Atzilut. Or even the sixth Sefirot of Zeir Anpin, and not more. But it doesn't, it can harm the Abba V'Ima. This is great to know, that in such a way we know that the minimum of light, a kind of just the light of the existence, is always given here to everyone. And there is no way to bring the Abba V'Ima, God forbid, to the separation. And if we know this, then we know that we are covered by love from above. So, again, back to our Zohar. The line 31. So he explained us the position of Abba V'Ima, the place where that they dress, the Arich Anpin, and the light that they receive. The light is Avira Dachya, the thin, fine air, avir. Point 31. Vizat nitkanu. Lepartsuf 32 nivdal. Hanikra Yisrael Saba Utfuna. Vehem malbishim 33 le'arichan pin. Miachaze ad hatabur. Vahaor shebahem. Nikra 34 avira stam. Velo avira dachya. Point 31. Vizat nitkanule partsuf, and the 7, zat is the 7, zat is the zayin tachtonot, and the 7th lower sferot of the Binah, nitkanu, were installed, lepartsuf 32 nivdal, to a separate partsuf, Hanikra Yisrael Saba, that is called Yisrael Saba. Saba means old, the old Israel. Utfuna, and Tfuna, the old Israel, means is the masculine, and Tfuna is the feminine. What means the old Israel? What is old? Always when the Torah speaks about old in the spiritual, in the scripture, old means old in wisdom. It means wise. Also the gray hair means also wise, a sign of wisdom, and not of the age. There were times when they say that was a great Rabbi Eliezer, that he was appointed to be a prince over the chosen nation, Israel, in the old times, the time of about 2,000 years ago, or maybe a little bit 2,200 years ago. And he was appointed to be a prince, but he was 18 years old. And in this nation, they have chosen from the ancient time someone to be a leader, someone who was wiser than others, and they didn't look at the age or the experiences of someone. And he was 18 years old, and he had to, the next day he had to stand before the Sanhedrin, before the 70 wisest people of this nation. They were wisest from all the wisest. But his head was black because he was young. And he meditated all the night to be able to stand before them, because he realized himself how the responsibility that was placed upon him. And he meditated and he prayed before the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, before Hashem, all the night. And in the morning, when his servants came in the morning to give him to bring him tea and morning breakfast, they were amazed to see him with a gray hair. And it was in reality like this, but of course the Talmud speaks about gray hair means the gray hair is the trait of the hair of Arihanpin. Gray means white, Hasadim, vol van Chochma, but the head of Arihanpin, but it shows itself to the lower levels, towards the lower levels, it's a pure Hasadim, pure love, a pure perfection, no din in the head of the Arihanpin. Towards the lower levels. That was happened with this great man, Rabbi Eliezer. And so not only the wonder that was happened to him, but the wonder was when we know how it works, the traits of the levels of the spirituality, like what we speak about now, then we know what was happened to him, that he had received the light from the Mazal. We will learn it later, from the Arihanpin itself. And that's why he could stand before all the Sanhedrin, the great assembly of the greatest of Israel, and at that time they were greatest, really great. And now we return back to our Zohar. So we spoke about Yisrael Saba, and that's what brought us to Rabbi Eliezer. That Yisrael Saba means the old, wise, gray Israel. Because Zeranpin and Nukwa, that what we call world, the lower world, actually the world that was created, receive it from him, from Yisrael Saba, the Chochmah, and from the Tvunah, they receive the Binah. So he says that the 7 lower Sfirot of the Binah, they were installed as particular separate partsuf that is called Yisrael Saba from the right side, from Chasadim. Chasadim, that's why we see Saba, gray, white, and Tvuna. And Tvuna is the feminine one. Vehem Malbishim, and they dress, 33, the Arichanpin, Miha Chazeh Adatabur, from the Chazeh of Arichanpin, Adatabur, up till the navel. We'll come to this. We'll return back to this. Or, so the place, he says first, he gives us the positioning. So they dress the Arichanpin from the Chazeh till the navel. Or, and the light that in them is. Always look at two things. Partsuf means kilim. World means kilim. Sphera means kilim. And the light, there is also a light that can fill this sphera, this partsuf, this world, the world. So he says, and the light, or shabahem, and the light that in them is in the Yishsut, or Yisrael Saba and Tvuna. Yishsut, Yisrael Saba and Tvuna. This is the abbreviation of these two. And the light that in them is Nikra, is called 34 Avir Astam, just Avir, just air, Velo Avir Adachya, and not thin, fine air. So now it's important to know where this is, which place is actually the place that Yisrael Saba and Tvuna, the lower Binah, the seven lower Sfirot of the Binah, that they dress the Arichanpin. From the Chazeh we know, the Chazeh, the place of the Chazeh is the 1/3 of the 1/3 upper third of the Tiferet. So this is the place of the Chazeh, of the Arichanpin. And now from this place and down till the Tabur, and Tabur is a navel. This is the place where Yisrael Saba and Tvuna, that Yisrael Saba and Tvuna dress. What do they dress actually in the Arichanpin? From this 1/3 upper third of the Tiferet up till the second third of the Tiferet, the middle third of the Tiferet. Very important to know this. So the 2/3 of the Tiferet from above, this place is called navel. Everywhere you will find it like this. So if you know where this place is, and this is the place of the Tabur. So you will see the place of this lower Bina. And that's why it's the crucial partsuf of crucial importance for us, for the correction. Because underneath, under the tabur, is the place of the Zeir Anpin and Nukva zone. And in the Katnud, the lower part of the Yishsut, Bina, Zeir Anpin and Nukva of Yishsut, are lowered into the upper place, Keter Chochma, of the zone, of the Zeir Anpin, actually. So when the souls improve their lives, they ascend man, and the man comes to the Nukva and the Zeir Anpin, and then Zeir Anpin, the Keter Chochma of Zeir Anpin has abundance of light that is due to this man request of the lower who ascends this light. And the Keter Chochma of Zeir Anpin, within them there are the Bina, Zeir Anpin and Malchut of Kilim, the lower part, the lower Kilim of the Yishsut. And they are getting awakened by this light, additional abundance of light in the Keter Chochma due to this man. And then this allows the lower Kilim of the Yishsut to rise up to back to its own level, and they take with them the Keter Chochma of the Zeir Anpin above, because all the reason for descending of the lower part of the higher level to the under level was only to allow the lower level to rise up and to the higher level, and to get extra light, life, etc. That's why this is very important, this place that is between the area of the Chazeh and Tabur. And this is the place of Yisrael, Saba, and Tfuna. And the light that they have that fills them is Avira Stam, is just in the, he means in the state of Katnut, of course, that they receive only just Avir, just Ruach. Avir means air, but it corresponds to the light Ruach. Okay. even like this. Look, what I said just, by the way, just I said what I just said, that avir, what I said, avir is the air. How we write avir? Aleph, Vav, Yud, and Resh, avir. And I said to you that this is the light ruach. It corresponds only if you just look at the gematria, you see the same. Avir, air, is Aleph, Vav, Yud, Resh. Aleph is 1, Vav is 6, you have 7, Yud is 10, you have 17, and Resh is 217, and Ruach is 218. Resh, Vav, Het. Sorry, Resh, Vav, Het is not like this. Resh, Vav, Het is, you have less, you have, how do you call it, Resh, 200, and Vav is 6, and Het is 8. How much we have? How much? 214, and 3 letters of the Ruach. Why 3 letters? You will see it, because here must first be the Keter of the Ruach, and the Keter of the Ruach is like only we count only the together with the gematria, we count also the letters. So we have 214 and 3 letters. We have in the light we do it like this. We have 217. So you see even the gematria. So it is not just the word avir, air, that the Zohar uses to symbolic to show us that it is coarser than the light, but this is also completely corresponding to the light. That means that is Ruach. But this Ruach is Stam Ruach, just Ruach, and not Avira Dahi, but not the thin Ruach. Yeah, because it comes from the body, and whilst the Abba Ima, they even in the head, in the Rosh, they doesn't want something else, and so their Ruach in the Rosh, what they have, Ruach of the head, what they have is naturally thin. 35. והטעם הוא כי השם אוויר פירושו אור 36 רוח. Now he will explain it. שהוא רק אור החסדים וחסר חוכמה. 37. ולפיכך נבחנת הבינה שיצאה מהראש דאריך אנפין 38 רק לבחינת אווירה כי מחמת, and now after the comma the second word is the second letter of this word must be chet and not the letter hey. Yeah, 38, the second word, in the second word, the second letter is chet and not hey. This is because of scanning. It was a great deal to scan this because there are no scanners that can do it properly with Hebrew. If you scan it, it's about 50 to 60% good, and 40 about you must correct it. And of course there are some mistakes left. Ki michamat 38 after the comma. Ki michamat ha'yitziya lachutz 39. Mirosh darich anpin. Shehu chochma. Ein ba ela or 40 chasadim. Bli chochma hanikra avir. Point 35. Now he will explain to us this difference of thin air, avir, and just plain avir, air, ruach. 35. V'ata'amhu, and the reason of this is Ki Hashem avir, that because the name avir, air, Pirusho means or ruach, the light of ruach. 36. And we see that the gematria is the same. Shehu rak ora chasadim, that this is only light of the chasadim. And of course, look, if we have the light ruach, if let's say if someone says if there is a light, if they say to us that there is a light ruach in the parzuf, that means that of course that the lower light nefesh is of course exists also here in this parzuf. If the light ruach is, if a higher light is, then of course we don't speak about the lower lights because they are of course understood. It's supposed to be also in the parzuf. And that's what he says. Vata'amhu, and the reason of this is Ki Hashem avir, that the name avir here means or ruach, or light ruach. 36. Shehura kora chasadim, that this is only light of the chasadim. Vechaser chochma, and there is lack of chochma, or there is no chochma. 37. Ulefichach, and that's why nivchenet abina, the bina, sheyatza miharosh darich anpin, that this descended, or that came out, or went out of the rosh of the arich anpin, is considered. Nivchenet means considered. 38. Rak levchinat avira, only as an aspect avira, as air, or light chasadim. Ki michamat yitziya lachutz, because due to her outgoing outside of the Binah. 39. Mirosh the Arichanpin, from the head of the Arichanpin, Shehu Chochma, that it is Chochma. Ein ba ela or chasadim, she has only light of the chasadim. 40. Bli Chochma, without Chochma. Hanikra avir, and this is called avir, air or ruach. It can be strange now what I've said before, that in Atzilut we consider the Abba V'Ima as Chochma, and now he says that Arichanpin is Chochma. He means the light of Chochma, the real light of Chochma. There are two lights of Chochma. The real light of Chochma, that means the light of Chochma, original light of Chochma, that is like in the 4 stages of the light. Remember when the light Keter gave the light to the Chochma, and that was the real Chochma, light of Chochma. But here in the Atzilut, we're speaking about the Chochma, different of the another kind of Chochma, of the Chochma actually of the Binah that returns back to the head of the Arichanpin and receives the shining of the Chochma, but actually it is a Binah. It is actually Chochma of the Binah. This is the Chochma that we are speaking about, of the Partsufim of Atzilut, that Abba V'Ima, through them we get this Chochma during the 6,000 years of the creation. But then will come the Mashiach, the light of the Yechida, Gar of the Chaya, the 3 upper lights of the Chaya and Yechida, and then the light will be received, the real Chochma, that is Chochma of the Arichanpin itself. Just listen, just work it out. Not why, not this, but how. And accept this. Write it down for yourself. Notice what I say. And step by step, it will receive the hands and the feet and the body and the soul, and you will feel this, all these spiritual powers in yourself, their traits, how it works, etc. After the point, Ela sheyesh hefresh, 41, Ben Abba V'Ima Elayin Liyeshsut, Ki Abba V'Ima Elayin, 42, Shehem B'chinat Gar de Bina, Shehen Einan nivgamot 43 klal michamat yitziatan miachochma mipnei she'etzem 44 bechinatan hu chassadim bli chochma vafilu ba'et 45 she'atachtonim malim man והבינה חוזרת לראש 46 דאריכנפין. הנה גם אז אין אבא ואמא אלין מקבלים 47 חוכמה רק ישסות. כי גר דבינה אינם משנות 48 טבען לעולם. ועל כן אינם נפגמים כלל מחמת 49 היציאה מהראש. ונבחנים כאילו לא יצאו 50 מהראש דאריכנפין. והם בחינת גר גמורות. And here the last word, the abbreviation of in the line 50, the last letter, you must change. The last letter is not bet, but kaf. And we read it, ve'al ken, the first line in the left column. Hem nifchanim le'avira dachya point. We are returning back to the right column, the line 40. Look, it's seemingly a very long sentence, but I couldn't stop because everything is so fluently fits to each other, and no one word is too much. And now he explains to us this difference between these avir, just avir, and avira dachya, and the thin air, and just plain air. Ela sheyesh hefresh, but there is a difference, 41, ben Abba v'Ima Elayin, between the higher Abba v'Ima, the Yishsut, and the Yishsut. Ki Abba v'Ima Elayin, that because the higher Abba v'Ima, 42, Shehem Pchinat Gar de Bina, that they are the aspect Gar of the Bina, the three first Sfirot of the Bina. Shehen Einan Nifgamot Klal, that they are in no way, that they were in no way defected. Can we say it? Defected. Harmed. Michamat 43. Michamat Itziatan Miachochma. Because due to their outgoing from the Chochma of the Arichanpin. Yeah, they had no problem with this. Mipnei she'etzem 44 bchinatan, because their trait itself, who chasadim, it's chasadim. They are chasadim without chokhmah. They don't care about the chokhmah. They only want to give. This is chasadim. This is Abba V'Ima. Va'afilu va'ed, and even in the time 45. Shehatachtonim ha'alim man, when the souls rise up the man, the request, v'habina chozeret lerosh, look, and then the bina returns to the rosh of the Arichanpin, to the head of the Arichanpin 46, because every stage of the ladder, of the spiritual ladder arises together with the request of someone. Hinei, behold, gam as, even then, ein Abba V'Ima elain mekablim chokhmah. Even then, the higher Abba V'Ima don't receive the chokhmah 47. Rak Yishsut, but only Yishsut receive the chokhmah. And they, of course, the Abba V'Ima pass it, this chokhmah pass to the Yishsut, because they don't need it. But to pass it to the Yishsut, that's what they can do. Ki gar de bina, because the gar de bina, the three first of the sfirot of the bina, einan meshanot 48 tiv'am le'olam. Look what he says. Because the gar of the bina, the three first sfirot of the bina, doesn't change, never change their trait, their nature. And their nature is chasadim. 48, ve'alken, and that's why. Einam nivgamim klal, they are in no way damaged. Mihamad 49, Yaitziya me'arosh, due to their outgoing from the Rosh. V'nivchanim ke'ilu lo yatsu me'arosh Arichanpin, and they are considered as if ke'ilu, as if lo yatsu, as if they didn't come out, didn't go out 50 mirosh, the Arichanpin, from the head of the Arichanpin. Vehem b'chinat gar gemorot, and they are, look at what he says, and they are completely gar, they are completely three first sfirot, and their nature is also gar. Look, it's very important to know that they have 10 sfirot by themselves, like only they don't need the chokhmah. And gar means that they have the first three of the sfirot in themselves. That ve'alken, and that's why. The first line in the left column, hem nivchanim le'avira dachya, they are considered as thin air. Thin air. Yes, thin chasadim, but they are very thin because they are coming from a head. And doesn't matter that they are standing now under the head of the Arichanpin. Point. Umitaam ze hem gam ken avira deloit yada shepirusho shehadat sri shelahem eina mamshicha chochma va'avira shelahem fo eino nasa leor shehu chochma. And now I will just translate it, and then I will explain it, Bezrat Hashem, with the help of the Almighty next time, because this is now not, we will not have the time to explain it. Umitaam ze, and because of this, hem gam ken, they are also avira deloit yada, they are chasadim, or that is not understandable, that are not to grasp. Shepirusho, that means shehadat shalahem, that the dat of, that their dat, that they are sphera between the Chokhmah and the Binah, because they have Abuima, they have 10 sphirot, yes? So between the Chokhmah and the Binah, there is also dat. And the dat, from the dat, let him continue. Shapirusho, that it means that the dat shalahem, that their dat, so sphera, that in between the Chokhmah and the Binah of the Abuima, Einam Amshecha Chokhmah, doesn't draw the Chokhmah, Va'avira shalahem, and the air of them, their air or their chasadim of the Abuima, for Einona Sela, or doesn't become light. Shehu Chokhmah, that this is a Chokhmah. What does it mean? Look at the word in the line 3, the second word before the end of the line. Ha'avir, ve means, and the first letter Hey means the definite article, and then we have Avir. Avir is air. And it means, it is like Ruach, or Chasadim. That what he says, that the light that is in Abuima is always stays Avir. And the letter Yud never leaves this place, its place. So even in the Gadlut, this Yud doesn't leave this place, because if the Yud would go back like normally in the Gadlut, that the Malchut descends to its own place, to the Malchut, then it would be, without Yud, what it would be? Aleph, Vav, and Resh, or, then it would be Or, and Or means Chokhmah. Light is only Chokhmah. Look, light is always only Chokhmah. We will learn it, that Chasadim, it's only the shining of the Kilim. But the light, really light, is only Chokhmah. So it means, he says, that they are always staying as Avir. And you doesn't leave this Avir. And that's why they don't become Or, light. and the light is Chokhmah. And what was his mentioning of Da'at? That he said the Da'at of them, of the Abba V'Ima, doesn't draw the Chokhmah. What does it mean? This is a very secret thing. And the very important one. Because Zeir Anpin and Malchut always rise up the man comes to between the Chokhmah and Binah, to stand. And this man that comes between, in the head of the Binah, between the Chokhmah and the Binah, the name of this man is Da'at, actually knowledge. So this Da'at stimulates the Chokhmah Binah to turn to the Chokhmah and to come into Zivuk with him, to let him shine upon him, and they make a Zivuk, and result of the Zivuk is that they get the third line, and they shine upon the Da'at. Look at very important thing. Just listen and notice what I say. And this Da'at receives from both of them, but Da'at is in between. And the Da'at gets something from the Chokhmah, and it becomes his right side. And then receives something from the Binah, and that is his left side. From right he has Chasadim, and from left he has Gvurot. And the Gvurot is a kind of like Chokhmah, what in the head, what in him, in the Da'at is. And naturally then, the Da'at, look what I say, the Da'at is the middle lane, the upper place in the middle lane. And the Da'at has its originates from the zone, from the Zeir Anpin. So it shines to the lowest, because Da'at came from the lower, from the zone, from the Zeir Anpin and Nukva. So now the Da'at shines to the zone, and he gives light to the Zeir Anpin and Nukva. Normally, through the middle line only the light can come to the lower level. But here, with the Abba V'Ima, it doesn't happen like this. Because they have Da'at, but this Da'at is also like Avir. It's also like it doesn't receive the light of Chokhmah in order to so that it could draw it to a lower level. That's what he says, that Avir in the Abba V'Ima stays Chasadim, and doesn't become light. I mean, light Chokhmah. But of course, they just, as he has told us, that Abba V'Ima, of course, when the Abba V'Ima returns to the head of the Arich Anpin, they shine upon the lower Binah, the Yishsut, and Yishsut can receive this Chokhmah. Why? Because in Yishsut, look, in Yishsut there are also 10 Sfirot, yes, and in the Yishsut it is not like with Abba v'Ima, that the dad, if the dad that stands between the Chokhmah and the Binah can't receive Chokhmah. In the Yishsut, it is possible. In the Yishsut, Avir becomes Or. This Yud from the Avir descends. It's the Malchut that stands in the under the Chokhmah in the Yishsut descends to its place, to the Malchut. It means that it can Yishsut can receive the Chokhmah and can draw it further through the midline to the Zeir Anpin. What I told this is what I have explained, or what I've told here in this lesson is of crucial importance. And of course, I can imagine that this is a great how do you call it, a huge mass of information, and that you mixed up completely, and you must accept it. What you understand, what you didn't understand, if you repeat it another time, and if you just notice for yourself what I have just said, and you place it somewhere in your mind, within yourself. This is like this. In the Abba v'Ima, it's like this, like this. In the Yishsut, no, in the Yishsut can receive without other things. It will be great for you. You just accept, you go above your understanding. And this is the only way to go on in the Ruchaniyut, in the true spirituality, in the way that you are still make yourself responsive to receive the light. Still above your understanding. Where I've read this, what we treated this in this lesson, I've read it probably 20 times, I don't know, maybe 30 times, maybe even more. And I couldn't understand a word. And there was no one who could explain it to me. And how did I know that this is something that would help me? Intuition. All of us, we have within us a phalos, mechanism that feels that what the truth is. But I couldn't understand. And another time, and then further, you must go further, and then, step by step, you will get it. Moreover, when you start the Kabbalah, even you have learned before somewhere, a person doesn't have the kelim to place this spiritual information. And the ways, the right ways to accept this. The acceptance is already a place where you can let this information rest upon. And in such a way it grows, and be happy with what you received every time. This is the right attitude.